Hello, dear students. This is your online class taken from St. Paul's School, Jaisalmer. In English, today we'll be taking from your Beehive Lesson 2, that is the sound of music. This lesson 2 is divided into two parts. In part 1, it is Evelyn Gleany listens to sound without hearing it, and second part is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. So, in this particular class, we'll be completing part 1, that is Evelyn Gleany listens to sound without hearing it, written by Deborah Cowley. So this is a biography written by Deborah Cowley. She took an interview with Evelyn and that she has mentioned here. Deborah Cowley is an Ottawa based writer and broadcaster. She has traveled the world wide writing more than 100 articles for different editions of the Reader's Digest. Now, as I told you, this is a biography. So, the basic theme of this biographical piece tells us how sheer determination and hard work, perseverance, and courage can alone help achieve anything if we put our heart and soul to it. No handicap or barriers can break one's way if one has the will to live their dreams. So, if I give you a basic summary of this lesson, it is like this, that Evelyn Gleany is a multi percussionist, means who can play more than one musical instrument. And she is called so because she plays more than 1,000 instruments, that too with perfection. And the unusual thing about her is that she listens to music without hearing it, as because of her physical disability, she cannot hear. She was profoundly deaf, and at the age of 11 it was discovered, despite everybody tried to give up on her, they discouraged her, but still she and one of her mentor, Ron Forbes, mentored him, and she continuously practiced till she reached the perfection. That we are going to see here in this lesson, line by line. Let's see its summary. So before we read here what is given, God may have given her hearing, but may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. Why? Because she's feeling it very deeply. Now, let us see how a person who fought against a physical disability and made her life a success story. So this starts like this. Rush hours crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. So there was a rush where people were pushing roughly one another on a underground train platform. A slight girl looking younger than her 17 years, means girl was of 17 years, but her body was not of like that of a grown up person, and she was looking smaller than her age, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. She was nervous maybe because of the rush here and there, and excited for what? Excitement of the train approaching near her. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from Scottish farm. So it is said that as she was from Scotland, that too from the rural area, farm area, she was going to a new place, that is Royal Academy of Music in London. This was this could be a frightening thing for any other ordinary girl, but not for her. She was excited. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. So, making your position at a completely unknown position is place is difficult, but more difficult it was for this girl because she was completely deaf. Now let's see what happened. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing has been gradual, means it was not from right birth. She was not birth deaf. Then what happened? Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. So, as this was taken an interview, so she's telling about herself, where she's saying that first it was considered or point something was unusual with her noticed, which was noticed was when she was 8 years old, and it was a day when she had to play a piano for some group of people, and when her name was called she didn't move. Okay, but anyhow she realized, as she could see now, so she realized that something unusual is with her, something has happened, that she did not hear her name. So for quite a while, anyhow she managed to conceal that thing, hide that thing, that something is problem with her ear. She hid from her friends, teachers and everybody. That day also she played, but by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated, and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. So, what happened? That day, anyhow, she managed, and every time, not that day, from that day, we can say every day she managed to hide this problem, that there is something problem with her hearing. And because of that, somewhere she lagged behind in her studies, and her headmistress once, when she of 11 years old, called her parents to take her to the specialist is a doctor who specializes in particular field. Okay, it was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. So, what happened? Here it was discovered that there is something great problem with her hearing, and that also it has gradually, not all of sudden, it was step by step damage. Maybe because she has not told her parents earlier, and now it had deteriorated. If she had told them early, maybe it's not given that if the results could be positive or not, but chances maybe she could recover. So dear students, this lesson one more gives you a message that anything wrong happens with you or against which is a little different from others, you should tell your parents so that it could be corrected at the correct time, because Evelyn did not say her parents, and so there was a gradual decline in her nerve damage, and finally she got completely deaf. If she could have told earlier, maybe some hearing could have remained there. So we should tell parents on time when and where we feel any difficulty. At the right time we should say. So they were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. Now what happened after this? They said that you please provide her a hearing aid to the ear, and then send her to the deaf school for the deaf. And here everything suddenly looked black. Yes, from common, if something happens suddenly, we should not say so rather, but if something changes, so today you are not liking your friend's school, it's normal for you, but because of any reason, physical disability, if you lose this chance, we certainly cannot afford to lose, right? So it was for her also, leaving the same school, teacher, what will happen, what others will say, and coping up with the new environment, it's everything very difficult. But Evelyn was not going to give up. Here, what happened? This was difficult, but she didn't give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. So she said that no, I'm not able to hear, still I'll be living a normal life. I will not go to school for the deaf, and I'll pursue my music classes that I have talked about because I have interest in it. What happened? One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone. You know what is a xylophone, right? It is a musical instrument with the row of wooden bars of different length. And she decided that she wanted to play it too. So when she saw that girl playing xylophone, she also decided to play it. Most of the teachers discouraged her. Everybody said that you cannot do so, you cannot play. It's not on in your hands that you can do it. But percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. So this was the mentor. This person was the mentor for Evelyn. So he said that he understood her potential and he began by tuning two large drums on different notes. Now he not that xylophone, but he took two drums and he set them on different tones, two different tones. Okay, one was very high, one was very low. Now he said to Evelyn, don't listen through your ears, he would say, try to sense it some other way. So he said that don't listen through your ears, try to feel it, sense it some other way. What happened? Says Evelyn, suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. So when she tried, as his mentor said him, she tried to hear music, she felt it, the higher beats from upper part of the body and lower beats from the lower part of the body. And it did not happen for one day. Forbes repeated this exercise and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different part of her body. Okay, he continued with this exercise every day and soon she was able to feel it. I had learned to open my mind and body to sound the vibrations, to sound and vibration. So she has learned how to feel open to hear for each and every sound. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. So when she was able to feel that sound and vibration, what was left to practice? It was only the sheer determination and the hard work was required, which she gave up, which she gave very nicely. Okay, she never looked back from that point onwards. Okay, she practiced it very hard, right? She toured the she toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra. So this was the first time when she went out with an orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. So orchestra means group of musicians. She used to go out and play amongst them, and when she was 16 years old, she decided very well that she will go ahead in music only. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music, and this, when she gave the auditions, she scored of the highest mark in the history of the academy. So she was the one who break all earlier records of music played there. It is not like that she was having any physical disability, so anyone can give her chance, okay, let her do. No sympathy was like that. It was because her hard work, sheer determination, that she skilled it very nicely, and when it was her chance to give the audition, she topped it. And she got the right or to the top, the world's most sought after multi percussionist. No, I left the line. It is as she scored the highest mark in the history of the academy, she gradually moved from orchestral work into solo. Now, as I told you previously, she was every time going with the band, with the group of musicians. Now she moved from that to a solo performance. At the end of her 3 years course, she has captured most of the top awards. So as it was degree of 3 years, by the end of that, she got that degree. Before that, all the top awards were on her, in her account only. Okay, she's captured everything with her practice and music which she played. And all for this, Evelyn won't accept by hint of heroic achievement. Means she was very down to earth, getting all these top awards. Still, she remained very calm and composed, and she said, if you work hard, then know where you are going. you'll get there. So if you work hard and you know that where are you going, what you are determining, you will surely get it. As she got right on the top, she was the top, the world's most sought after multi percussionist with a mastery of some thousand instruments. So she has only not mastered in 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, no, not 100,000 type of instruments she could play, and hectic international schedule. Now, what was her daily routine? It was to master more and more musical instruments, play it, and go for performing in international programs. Okay, so that was her part of daily routine. It is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. Means it was very fascinating. It is very curious to see her that even if she cannot hear, she plays music very effortlessly, very smoothly, without hearing it. In our 2 hours discussion, she never missed a word. So, as Deborah Cowley is taking her interview, she says that when I was taking, she never missed any word, and it was not looking that she is deaf. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. So, at that time, as she was able to speak, she said that only men with beards gave her a little trouble. Otherwise, she could understand everybody with their facial gestures what they were speaking. It is not just watching the lips. She's saying that it is not that the lips only I watch, but the whole face, especially the eyes she watched. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish late. Scottish list means the way of speaking, the how she was speaking. See, don't mind me talking like that. But if anybody is South Indian or a Bihari, by the way of speaking, you understand that from which place he's belonging. Okay, so same type is that she was speaking with them, but the Scottish lit was there, the way of speaking, how people talk in Scotland, it was coming with her speech. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11. So she says that my speech is clear because I was able to hear till my age of 11, she says. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese also. So she managed to learn these two languages also, French and basic Japanese. As for music, she explains, it pours it through every part of my body. So she's saying the music is being poured down at from every part of through every part of my body. It tingles in my skin, so from my skin it gets inside. Okay, it tingles, cause a slight pricking sensation, my cheekbone, and even in my hair. So she's saying even in my hair the music is getting in. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. So she's saying that when she plays the xylophone at that time also, with the stick which she is playing and putting it on the drum, she or we can see different sticks, she can hear those sound entering through the stick, entering into her fingertips and then whole body. By learning against the drums, leaning means moving a little ahead, drooping down on the musical instrument, leaning. She is saying that she can feel the resonance flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare foot and then up to her leg into her body. So this is how she plays, by every time on a wooden stage with bare feet, because music goes inside her body through those foot and then leg and so on. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audience in 1991. She was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award, says master percussionist James Blades. So, by seeing that she was receiving this award, this James Blade, he is also a master percussionist. He says, And he said that time, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, he feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. These lines were given in the starting also, okay? And who said it? James Blades. This is very important point to be noticed. Next, Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. So she's saying that yes, she confesses, yes, it's true that I'm a kind of workaholic. Who is a workaholic? A person who finds difficult to stop working, always work. A kind, we can take example as our mothers. We see our mothers continuously working. After one, they take another, then they don't stop from morning till night. She was also a kind of that, far more than that. Just I've just got to work. So she's saying just only one thing which I feel, that I should work, work and work, often harder than classical musicians. So see, she's saying that difficult type of music is classical music. From that, her practice is more difficult, because apart from regular concerts, but for rewards are enormous. So she's saying that yes, it is difficult to work, it is hard to work, but what we receive that award, that is enormous, far beyond that. It is so much soothing, okay, or so much pleasant, we can say. Apart from the regular concerts what she was doing, Evelyn also gave free concerts. Okay, so regular concerts, paid one were there, but leaving them, she, or we can say on the other hand, she was also giving free concerts where in prisons and hospitals. She gave also gave high priority to classes for young musicians. So this is also important, where apart from regular concerts, where she was devoting her music to prisons and hospitals, and classes for young musicians. Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. So they are knowing that there is nowhere that they cannot go, means they, with their hard work, determination, they can achieve everything. Evelyn Gilliany has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. So within a small age, she has achieved a lot of things which people get at crossing at least their double age what she's having right now. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that she can be very, it can be very moving. So previously orchestra was beyond the stage lining, that curtain, but she has brought it on the main stage. Okay, she has given inspiration to those who are handicapped, people who look to her and say, people whomsoever look at her, they say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions of people with her music. Well, that's the end of our lesson here. Thank you.